Michael here for another awesome week in LEGO news, featuring LEGO Dungeons & Dragons, the return of Bionicle and classic space Blacktron, more Star Wars, Hulkbuster news, table football, and some of the best LEGO deals of the year. And don't forget to listen to the latest episode of my LEGO Masters podcast, TalkBricks Masters. And this week I break down the bull riding rodeo episode with former contestants Mel, Moto, and Dave. And you can listen to it on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and so much more using the links in the description below. And I'll kick off another round of the weekly giveaway. Just subscribe and leave a comment about this week's news. And of course, I'm back with LEGO deals from Amazon and across the web, so if you want to pick anything up to support the channel, there's links in the description below. First up at Target, today's the last day of Target Deal Days, where they're having sales on tons of sets, including 53% off Adventures with Mario, 20% off the Jurassic Park T-Rex Breakout, 40% the LEGO Art Project, and 30% Harry Potter and Hermione Granger. Next up over at Amazon, they've got 30% off the LEGO Ideas Treehouse, the LEGO Batcave, the Riddler Face-Off, and LEGO Marvel Spider-Man at the Sanctum Workshop. Plus, they've got 25% off the Mickey and Minnie Mouse and LEGO Mickey art sets. Plus, 25% off the Lunar New Year Traditions, LEGO City Grocery Store, and LEGO City Wildlife Rescue sets. Over at Kohl's for Bricktober, a bunch of sets are 20% off, including some of the new Black Panther sets and the new minifigures. Over at Walmart, the LEGO Star Wars Galactic Adventures multi-pack is 44% off, and the LEGO Ninjago 3-in-1 pack is 50% off. There were just too many crazy deals to pack in one video, so you want to check out all these deals and more and support the channel, there's links in the description below. Next up, LEGO Ideas is teaming up with Dungeons & Dragons to create the first Dungeons & Dragons set for the 50th anniversary. Just like with the recent Optimus Prime set, LEGO is technically teaming up with competitor Hasbro again, which makes this super interesting. Fans have been clamoring for a long time to have another new LEGO theme that scratches the LEGO Castle itch, so I'm excited to see what fans submit. Interestingly, the fan vote component won't decide the winner, which they've said will help them understand fans' excitement for the theme. Interestingly, there's also a Dungeons & Dragons movie coming out in March, so it's possible we could even see sets from that film. If you want to enter the design challenge, there's a link in the description below, and the winner will get a ton of great prizes from Dungeons & Dragons, plus 10 copies of their set and 1% of the total net sales. And on the whole, I'm super excited to see what comes out of this. Next, thanks to BrickClicker, we've got huge news of some upcoming themes being resurrected. First up, we're going to be getting a gift with purchase in early 2023 featuring Bionicle. The set will feature a brick-built version of the Toa Tahu, and the set will feature them lava surfing. The original Tahu set came out in 2001, and it was just recently referenced in the 90 Years of Play LEGO Classic set. There will also be another buildable character of the Matoran Takua, and it's great to see they're putting more than one character in this promo. Also coming as a separate gift with purchase in early 2023 is a recreation of the Blacktron Invader. This gift with purchase will likely feature a similar modern glow-up to the Forest Hideout promo we got recently this year for the 90 Years of Play. And if the recent Galaxy Explorer is any indication to what they can do when they revamp classic space designs, I can't wait to see what this one looks like. The original design was definitely very nostalgic, and I'm really hoping we'll get some of those printed panels and those transparent red pieces at the back. As for minifigures, I'm curious to see if they'll keep them true to the original with a recreation of this classic Blacktron design, or if, like in the Forest Hideout, they'll modernize the design like this character that we got in a previous collectible minifigure series. But in any case, as a fan of these original themes, I'm really excited to see LEGO lean into the nostalgia. Next up, we also got word that the Hulkbuster Mark I is indeed coming on November 4th. This set has been upgraded, now rumored to have 4,049 pieces and retail for a whopping $550. With this set having almost 3 times as many pieces as the original large-scale Hulkbuster, I have very high expectations, and I'm hopeful that this thing will be absolutely massive. The original was 9 inches tall, and I have to imagine this one will be pushing over 20. Just like the previous version came with an exclusive figure of the Iron Man Mark 43 armor, this new version is also said to have an exclusive figure, but this time instead feature a figure of Tony Stark. And with its release less than a month away, we'll probably get our first look at it soon. Next up, we got the reveal of the LEGO Ideas Table Football set coming November 1st. This set contains 2,339 pieces and will retail for $250. The main build, of course, is a small-scale foosball table with some nice accents of blue and red for the teams. As you might expect, the game is fully playable. Each team has 5 minifigures on 2 different rails that you can rotate to play the game. Down at the base, there are some printed tiles to create the look for the field. And on either side, there's a ball return as well as a feature to keep score. And this set was one of the most highly play-tested sets to ensure that everything played as expected, even adding features like rubber tires at the bottom to add extra stability. And in fact, all that rigorous playtesting is exactly why the set is depicted far smaller than the original submission. The LEGO designers actually built one of these at full scale and found that through their playtesting, it just wasn't stable and consistent, which is why they had to scale everything down so it would continue to play as expected despite heavy use. But unique to the final model is this fun display stand, which features the rest of the 22 minifigures included, which are all customizable with the hidden 44 heads and 43 hair pieces. Interestingly, this is actually the first non-licensed set to depict minifigures in more true-to-life skin tones. And it's great that LEGO's giving us so many options for representation, even including minifigures who are hearing impaired and ones that have vitiligo. At $250, this set is no doubt quite expensive, especially as for that price, you could probably get some sort of large-scale non-LEGO version of it. While this set won't be for everyone, I think it's really amazing that it is fully playable and consistent, not to mention that it includes just so many minifigures and unique parts to allow for more diversity and representation. And I'll definitely be picking this one up. Next up in Star Wars news, in 2023, we'll be getting a handful more Star Wars Brickheadz. First up, there's going to be a 5-pack for $40, all themed on Endor. Included will have Luke Skywalker in Jedi robes, Princess Leia in her Endor outfit, our first Lando Calrissian, our first R2-D2, and our first Ewok, though we don't know which one we'll be getting. And this set will retail for $40 like the Hogwarts professors, as I imagine R2-D2 and the Ewok will be smaller builds like these minions. And the other Star Wars Brickhead is going to be a single of a Tusken Raider for $10, which I feel like is an interesting choice. Next up in LEGO Ideas news, there were 5 more projects to 10,000 supporters on the platform, so let's break them all down. First up, we've got classic Thunderbirds based off of the 1960s animated TV series. If this project looks familiar, it's its second time hitting 10,000 supporters, but there's been some nice updates. The main ship Thunderbird 2 features a removable cockpit with interior and lots of different functions. Plus, there's also 3 smaller vehicles in the Thunderbird 4, the Mole, and the Master Elevator car. I think especially if you're a fan of the original show, this would make a really interesting set, and I'm curious to see if it'll have a better chance on its second time around. Next up, we've got Golden Clifftop Temple. The build uniquely depicts a temple on a mountaintop sitting above the clouds. The temple design is really stunning and unique with all of its traditional details. But what sets this build apart for me is all of the texturing and landscaping done around the base. On the whole, this build is definitely a very stunning showpiece, and I think it would make a very interesting set. And it'd be interesting to get a set with this many pieces and small details, as we've never gotten one quite like this before. Next up, we've got Sewer Heroes fighting the Fatberg. This project's designer aims to explore the urban underground and highlight the workers that are working on the water and wastewater systems. I like how the overall design has a modular building-esque feel, but it gives us a look underneath the city, which is one that we never usually get. And the project's designer had great attention to detail, especially with all the interior sections and the way they flesh out the systems. While the build is really well done, I am curious if the subject matter may keep it from getting approved. Next up, we've got JWST, or the James Webb Space Telescope. This build is based off of the real telescope that launched Christmas Day in 2021. The build has a very unique design, especially with its ability to be folded to fit within the rocket, just like the real thing. And while the build is great and NASA's very popular on LEGO Ideas, I'm curious to see how this one will do, because it's actually the second time this project's at 10,000 supporters too. Finally, we've got Cipher Machine. This one acts as a real cipher, so you can create secret messages and decode them. The design itself is pretty cool, especially with all of its gold detail and its classic stylings. Not to mention it has the ability to decode or encode a message, and I think that's pretty neat. I feel like this set would look really nice alongside other LEGO Ideas projects like the Ship in the Bottle, the Globe, or the Typewriter. But I'm curious if something like this would have super wide appeal, but as always, we're gonna have to wait and see. Next up, in a previous video, we'd covered off that Austria was getting an exclusive LEGO stamp to celebrate the 90 years of play. But it turns out they're not the only country in Europe to be getting a specialized stamp, as we're also going to be getting one for Switzerland. Or 2, I should say, as we're going to be getting one stamp featuring a winter chalet and another one featuring a cow. The designs for the stamps look really nice, and I'm mostly just jealous that we aren't getting any sort of stamps like that here in the US, as I imagine all mail correspondence, including bills, would look a lot nicer with LEGO stamps stuck to them. And these stamps will be available starting November 12th. Next at the LEGO store and LEGO.com, starting on the 10th through the 16th, it's double VIP points. So if there's any of the recent releases that you've been holding out on, it's a great time to pick it up. Plus, if you want to support the channel, there's a link in the description below. So there you have it, another fun week in LEGO news with a lot of interesting things to look forward to in 2023. I love that they're bringing back classic themes in gift with purchases, and I hope they keep that trend up. And while we wait for those in the Star Wars Brickheadz, we'll have that new Hulkbuster and that table football set to keep us busy. But I better start saving for the $800 I'll need to buy them both. Be sure to leave this video a thumbs up down below if you're as excited as me, and don't forget to subscribe because I'll be back next Saturday with even more LEGO news. And let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. What did you think about all the stories? And which one are you most excited about? And now we've got this week's giveaway winner. Congratulations! And be sure to email me from the About page on my channel so we can coordinate about the prize. And if you want to enter this week's round, just leave me a comment about this week's news. You must be a subscriber to win. And definitely turn on notifications to find out when my next video is posted, because I'll be announcing the winners at the end of some of the videos. That's all the time we've got for today. Thanks, and have a good one! Michael here, click to watch last week's video featuring 2023 Lord of the Rings, UCS Razor Crest, Black Panther, Zelda, Up, and so much more. And don't forget to subscribe.